Hello, this is Dr. Mears, and today we are going to be learning about composite functions. I feel that I'm going to be making this into a two-part video. It's pretty long, so let's just say that this is part one of the composite functions and our journey of learning about it. So first, let's look at this visual. A composite function has a couple different parts. First, we're going to start with a potato. Yes, a potato. This is what we're going to put in this little apparatus. And what this does is it makes out French fries. Then what we're going to do with these French fries, we have to cook them. So we're going to put these French fries in the fryer. And when we put them in this apparatus, we're going to get French fries out. And that's what we're going to be doing with functions. We're going to be taking a number or variable, putting it in an equation. We're going to get a number out. Then we're going to be putting it back into an equation. And we're going to be getting a number out. So putting it in an equation, getting a number out, putting it in an equation, getting a number, we finally have our answer. So let's look at what that looks like in real life with algebra. A composite function denoted as f of g of x or f of g of x can be thought of as a series of operations or machines. We read both of the notations as f, and this should be of, sorry about that everybody, g of x. Let's do some examples. First, examples with ordered pairs. When we do example with our ordered pairs, I want you to remember we have input, which is our x, and we have output, which is our y. And that's why this picture is going to make a little bit of sense, because we're going to be looking for an input and getting an output. So let's see what I mean. Here we have f of g of -2. So the first thing that you do, number one, is just look at the inside part. Let's just do g of -2. So we have to look, we have f of x function here, we have g of x function here, and I'm sorry, I should have read the problem first. So inside it says go to the g function and go to the input of -2. So we have to look to see where my input, where my x value is -2. Not there. Ooh, I have a -2 here. I don't have -2 anywhere else. This is a function. So when I do put -2 in, I'm going to get out +3 all the time. So it says we want g of -2. So we're inputting -2. So what are we going to get out as an answer? We're going to get out +3. So what we're finding is, I'm going to back my finger up, we need f of, what's my answer here? 3. So I'm taking my output and it's now becoming my new input. So now I go to the f function. Here's our f function. I look for the input of 3. Here is my input, my x value of 3. What answer am I getting out? I'm getting out 4. So when I do the whole process, my final answer is 4. I input 2, I got out 3. I input 3, I got out 4. So it's going through a series of steps or a series of equations. Just like we went through, I put in 2, I got out 3. I put in 3, I got out 4. That's what I'm doing here. It's a cycle here. All right, let's look at another one. We have part B, g of f of 10. So first, let's put our finger over the outside. Let's just focus on what's in the middle. We just want to go to the f function, and we want to get an input of 10. So let's go to the f function. Here's the f function. Let's look for where my x value is 10. I see that my x value is 10 here. So what am I getting out? I'm getting out a -2. So f of 10 is -2. I'm not done yet though, because I'm going to back my finger up and I see that I need now to find g of negative 2. So my output now becomes my new input. So now I have to go to the g function. I look for negative 2. I actually found it in the first one. And so what is my output for negative 2? That's a positive 3. So g of f of 10 is positive 3. So it's really, if you can understand, you put a number in, you get a number out. This now output becomes your new input in the function. Then we get our output. Okay, let's look to see what it looks like when we're dealing with equations. So number 2, given the functions, I'm going to read you these functions. F of x equals 3x minus 5. G of x equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. H of x equals negative 3. I feel like this is a little fuzzy, so I'm going to try to make it less fuzzy for you. Whoa! That was fun. Nope, nothing's working here. Okay. Sorry, it's a little fuzzy. I tried. And now everybody's paper is going to be like, whoa. All right, part A. What do we have here? We have f of h of x. So first, let's put our finger over the f. Let's just work in the inside. And I'm really kind of upset that this is as foggy as it is. I'm not sure what's going on. All right, so let's put our finger over. Let's just look at the middle. This is h of x. So I'm going to go to my h of x. H of x equals, let's see what I got, negative 3. So I know this h of x equals negative 3. So this side is now going to become my input into the f function. So I write the f function down, but my input now becomes that negative 3. So 3 times negative 3 minus 5. So we're substituting in for x this output that was for h of x. So f of negative 3 equals, this is negative 3 times 3, which is negative 9 minus 5, and that gives us negative 14. So f of h of x equals negative 14. Now, if you're in my class and you're confused, call me over. Please call me over. And you can complain that this is blurry because it is bothering me too. I'm not sure what is going on. All right, part B, f of g of x. So first, put your finger over the outside. Let's just look at the middle. G of x. Let's go and write down the g of x. G of x equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. Beautiful. Now that we wrote down our g of x, we are going to write down our f function, but this is going to be put in for my x. So here is my f function. Instead of x, I'm going to write this entire thing down inside the parentheses. And yes, I am going to write the entire thing down next to the 3 as well. And remember, as I've been saying in the beginning of the year, you need to use your parentheses. If there's an x here, replace it with parentheses, and then whatever becomes your input, you put into those parentheses. And I need to make this equal sign look a little better. Okay. And so then this is going to be minus 5. Do not forget, you have to write everything down. 3x minus 5. I'm going to back this up a little bit. Maybe that would help. Okay, so wherever your x is, you input that input. What do we have to do here? Let's simplify a little bit. This is multiplication, so let's just distribute our 3. It makes it look nice and neat. So we're going to get 3x squared plus 6x, 3 times negative 1 minus 3. Don't forget your minus 5. These can be combined. They are like terms. All I did, everybody, was just multiply 3 times x squared, 3x squared. 3 times positive 2x, 3 times 2 is 6x. 3 times negative 1, negative 3. And now I'm just combining those terms at the end. Negative 3 minus 5 is minus 8. So, to rewrite it over, f of g of x, my final answer is 3x squared plus 6x minus 8. Now, we can also write it with this little zero in there. And what this little zero does is it's just the same exact thing. You have to put your finger over the outside. You locate the inside, so h of x. You write down the h of x, that's -3. And so now we take our finger away. We have to put this -3 into this g function. So we're just going to do g of, and we have this -3. That is now our input into our g function, equals parentheses -3. Parentheses, remember, if we take the x out, we do the parentheses and then the squared. So it almost looks like this in my head, where I took the x out and I replaced it with parentheses, and now I'm substituting in this -3. So g of -3 equals, you may do this using order of operations or your calculator, but you are going to get a +2. So rewriting it, g of h of x equals 2. Yay! And I just did this in my calculator. I put this side in just like you see here. You could also square it, -6 minus 1. All right, f of g of 1. So first, put your finger over. We have g of 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here. I'm going to write down my g of x equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. Right here. So all I did is I took this and I just rewrote it down here. Now, this g of -1, I'm going to input. So now I actually have to input a number, everybody. So first, before all of these, I just wrote the function down, and then I was able here. I wrote it down, I put it in. Here I wrote it down, I put it in. Same thing, I wrote it down. Now they're telling us put -1 in first. So again, here I'm doing parentheses. So this is how I set it up in my head. So instead of the x, I'm just putting parentheses. And now I need to input that -1 like it's telling me to. Either order of operations, or you can put this side in with the parentheses. Don't forget your squared. And g of -1 is going to be -2. I'm not done yet. I removed my hand. It needs to tell me, it says go to the f function now. So I go up here to my f function. I write my f function down. And what do I have to put in? The output that I got now becomes my new input. So I'm going to input -2. So f of 2 equals 3 times -2 minus 5. I'm inputting. So f of -2 equals -11. 3 times -2 minus 5 is -11. So just to rewrite it nice and rewrite it in that nice mathematical way, f of g of, sorry, messing up a little bit, -1. So f of g of -1 equals, what's my final answer? -11. Input 1, got out -2. Input -2, got out -11. Hopefully you're following the pattern. Okay, and f of g of x down here. Looks like I'm going to need a new camera. It keeps getting fuzzier and fuzzier, everybody. So f of g of 1. So there's 3 now. So take it slow. Do that inside one first. Put your finger over the other 2. Let's just do h of 1. So first, let's write down the h function. H of x equals -3. They're telling us to input +1. So h of +1 equals -3. It's always going to be -3. You can put any number you want in here for this one. It's always going to be -3, everybody. So here is our new input. Our new input. So where am I going to put it in? Ooh, I'm going to put it in the g function. Cool. So let's go up. Rewrite the g function down. G of x equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. What's my input? What does it say? It says put in -3. G of -3 equals. Now I'm going to set up my parentheses. I'm feeling that some of you like setting up parentheses like that. Instead of the x, you just put parentheses with a space. because we're going to be putting that -3 in. Using my calculator, I'm going to get g of -3 equals 2. Okay, am I done? No, I still have my f function. So here I'm going to write my f function down. F of x equals 3x minus 5. What's my new input? It's 2. I'm sorry, 3, f of x equals 3x minus 5. What's my new input? It's 2. Let's input 2. I'm running out of space. Okay, if we input 2, I'm going to get f of 2 equals 1. I get my final output, everybody. Woo woo. So to write this, f of g of h of 1 equals, oh, look at that. I get 1 out. Oh my gosh, I feel like we just went in a circle. Okay, so we put -3 in. We got 2 out. We put 2 in. We got 1 out. We're done. Okay, let's look one more thing here, and you got it. We're looking at graphs. Using the graph of two functions, f of x and g of x. And what I should do is I should actually make one of these blue. I'm going to make this line g of x blue for everybody. Blue. Yay, that's nice. A little bit darker, just so that you can see it. I might even, so it's a little bit darker. Or let's even see pencil, because I just realized that some of you might not be able to see the difference. So there we go. I wish I had a highlighter or something even. Okay, so here we have, this is g of x here. This is f of x here. Just to make it that is even worse, Dr. Mears, what are you doing? Just leave it alone. So this is our f of x1. This is our g of x1. Okay, let's look. Here we have, I'm going to rewrite this over. I'm just going to rewrite f of g of 8. I feel like the camera is getting blurry and blurry. Looks like I'm going to need to get a new camera again. So we have f of g of 8. So we put our finger over the f. Let's just look at the g function. This is my g function right here, g of x. So on this line, remember, this is the x. So I just want to know what my y is going to be. So I go to this line. I go to 8. And of course, I wrote over it. Okay, I go to 8 here. Here's my input. That's my x. I'm going to go all the way up. Ah, my lights. This video. Seriously, everybody. I don't know about this video. Okay, so let's just finish it up. So I have 8. We go all the way up, and what we want to look for is my output, which is my y. So I get out a 6. I input 8. I go to my line. I get out 6. So that's just the g one. Let's go to the f function. So g of 8 equals 6. Now I need to input the 6 into my f function. So here is my f function. So I go to 6. This is x. I want to know what my y is. I go to 6 on the x. But now I'm going up to this point because I'm on the f. I'm on the v. So I go to 6. I go all the way up. Oh, guess what? It lands me at 6 again. Again, I feel like I'm going in a circle, everybody. All right, so f of g of 8 equals 6. And this is what happens sometimes. It does. It feels like you're going in a circle. But we're using the line and the v. We're inputting. We're getting outputs. Let's look at g of f of -2. So first, we're going to be looking at f of -2. So we're going to go to the f function, this one right here. We're going to go to -2. We're going to go all the way up, and it's this point right here. Now, we're counting by 2's here, so it's right in the middle, so I'm going to call this a +1, and that's fine. You can do that. When I don't give you little numbers, you can go in the middle. So if we go to -2, I'm not using the correct function. I'm rushing, everybody. I'm rushing. I'm sorry. So if we go to -2, we're using this v. We go all the way up, so here's my v. Just to reset everybody, here's my f function right here, my f function. I go to -2, my input. I get out a +2. Okay. Not done yet because I still need to do my G function. What am I going to input? That's right. So now I'm going to go to this line. Here's my G function. I'm going to input a positive 2. I'm going to go all the way up to my line, making sure, yes, this is my line one, perfect. Go all the way over. Here's where we're going to have to get the middle. Again, we're counting by 2s, so what's in between 2 and 4? Yep, the number 3. And yes, you can estimate like that when I don't give you the numbers explicitly. So G of F of -2 equals 3. Okay, and my last one. Oh, G of 0. Oh, geez. All right, last one. First, let's just look at G of 0. G of 0 equals. So let's go to my G function right here. Okay, I'm going to go to 0. Here's 0. Where does that go up to? That goes up to positive 2. So I just went to 0, and then I went up till I hit that G function. So I get positive 2. 0, I went to positive 2. Now what do I have to do? I have to go back again to my G function. I have to put in positive 2, and let's see what we get out. So here's my G function. Here's my input of 2. I go all the way up, right here, again, on my line. I hit my line, and oh, it's 3 again. Oh, I feel like I'm going in a circle. And that's 3. So G of 0 equals 3. Okay, hopefully you stuck with me. We had some camera issues, the lights turned off, I was rushing at the end. Hopefully, though, you understand that in composite functions, you're inputting, you're getting an output. You're making that output your new input. Your new input gets you to that output. And so that reminds you of that picture that we saw and how it does. It feels like a circle, but hopefully you understand. And this has been Dr. Mears. Thank you very much.